Ever lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying a conversation like you're editing a director's cut no one asked for? You call it overthinking. Neuroscience calls it something else. Your brain running a buffering wheel on worst-case scenarios. Because here's the truth. Overthinking isn't cute. It's not a quirky personality trait. It's anxiety wearing a fake mustache. And today, we're unpacking why your brain loves reruns, what anxiety has to do with it, and, most importantly, how to hit pause without deleting your brain and installing Linux. Stick around. This is going to feel uncomfortably relatable. Why we call it overthinking. You've heard the jokes, "I can't stop overthinking. Haha, that's just who I am." Cute, relatable, but also a total scam. Because overthinking isn't thinking more. It's anxiety dressed up in a fake business suit, pretending to be productivity. Like, your brain is basically that intern who alphabetizes the staplers and then asks for a raise. You're not solving problems. You're circling them like a Roomba stuck under a couch, making noise, burning energy, going nowhere. And every lap around the mental track feels urgent. This time, I'll figure it out. Spoiler, you won't. Real talk. You don't feel smart when you overthink. You feel like you're stuck in a mental escape room with no clues, just vibes and a countdown timer. And the prize for winning? More overthinking. It's like binging Black Mirror in your head. Except you're the writer, director, and main character. And every episode ends with, "Was it something I said in 2012? So, why does this happen? Why does your brain hit replay like a broken Netflix account that really wants you to rewatch the cringe highlight reel of your life? The neuroscience of the loop. Alright, let's pop the hood. Your brain comes with a built-in feature called the default mode network, DMN. Sounds peaceful, right? Like a meditation playlist or a Zen garden for thoughts. Wrong, so wrong. The DMN is a network of brain regions, medial prefrontal cortex, posterior cingulate cortex, and angular gyrus, that fires up when you're not focused on a specific task. Great for creativity or daydreaming, until anxiety hijacks it. Then it doesn't play spa music. It streams a 24/7 disaster channel narrated by your inner critic. Coming up next, 10 ways you ruined that conversation, followed by, what if they secretly hate you, now in HD. Now, let's talk about amygdala, your brain's paranoid security guard. Its entire job? Detect threat and keep you alive. And guess what? Amygdala is an overachiever with trust issues. Someone casually says, "Can we talk later?" Your brain doesn't hear, "We need to sync." It hears, "Red alert. Saber-toothed tiger detected. Everyone to the panic room." Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, the logic guy, shows up like, "Okay, let's plan. Let's run 37 simulations of every possible way you could end up homeless because Brenda used 3 dots in that text." Here's the problem. Instead of calming amygdala down, this executive function pile-on fuels the loop. Welcome to the anxiety feedback cycle. Amygdala. Danger. Everything is danger. Prefrontal cortex. Cool, let's draft a TED Talk called Catastrophes You Haven't Imagined Yet. DMN. Meanwhile, here's your mental blooper reel in 4K Ultra HD. And why does your brain do this? Evolution, baby. This loop was amazing when danger meant, "What's that rustle in the bushes?" Because missing that threat equals death. But today, the rustle is Brenda's email with no emoji. Your nervous system didn't download the patch update. Fun fact, studies show that chronic DMN activation is linked to rumination and anxiety disorders, while amygdala overactivity spikes cortisol, which can impair prefrontal reasoning. Translation: your brain thinks it's prepping for survival, but really, it's doom-scrolling inside your skull. Your mind is now a Marvel multiverse of what-ifs. Except instead of Spider-Man variants, it's 57 versions of you ruining a meeting that hasn't happened yet. If that hit a little too close to home, smash that like button, subscribe for more brain hacks, and let's keep rewriting the script together. Why worst-case scenarios stick. Let's time travel for a sec. Stone Age edition. Back then, survival wasn't about six-pack abs. It was about staying 6 steps ahead of a saber-tooth snack. Your ancestors didn't wake up thinking, "What's my passion?" They woke up thinking, "What's that rustling in the bushes and will it eat my face?" To handle this, your brain evolved what scientists call the negativity bias. Basically, it gives more weight to danger than good news. Why? Because the cost of being wrong wasn't symmetrical. Oops, that shadow wasn't a tiger equals embarrassed. Oops, that was a tiger equals unalived. Game over. Respawn not available. Fast forward a few thousand years, no tiger. Just Brenda typing 3 question marks in Slack like she's summoning demons. And yet, Your brain is still rocking that same prehistoric operating system. It's like, predict all disasters or we die. Brenda's typing, build a bunker. So now you've got threat simulation theater running 24/7 in your head. Your mental Netflix queue looks like this. What if I bomb that meeting? What if they hate my text? What if I trip at my wedding and accidentally marry the DJ? Here's the truth bomb. This isn't creativity. It's survival software, glitchy, outdated, and allergic to chill. Your brain doesn't know you live in 2025. It still thinks exile equals death, and Brenda's dots mean doom. The myth of control. Here's the scam your brain keeps selling you. If I think about it enough, I can prevent disaster. Spoiler, that's not preparation. That's mental hamster wheeling in designer shoes. Overthinking feels productive because your brain is sneaky. Every time you spin a new scenario, it gives you a tiny dopamine hit like, good job, you're solving problems. Except, you're not solving anything. You're refreshing your inbox for a package that hasn't even shipped yet. Here's the kicker. The more you think, the less certain you feel. Why? Cognitive fatigue. Your prefrontal cortex, your logic CEO, gets tired, decision-making tanks, and suddenly ordering a sandwich feels like filing your taxes. Oh, and your amygdala, still in the corner screaming, what about the saber-toothed tiger? Spoiler, the tiger is Brenda, and she's just asking if you saw her email. Breaking the loop. Okay, hit the brakes. Put the spiral in park. Overthinking isn't a moral failure. It's not proof you're weak. It's just your brain acting like an over-caffeinated security guard who keeps yelling, everything's a threat. Spoiler, it's not. Here's the good news. You can retrain that guard. You can rewrite the mental code. Here's how. Name it to tame it. Say this out loud. Yes, out loud. This isn't danger. It's old wiring. That's called affect labeling. Basically, emotional duct tape for your brain, but with fewer trips to Home Depot. Why? Because naming feelings is like handing the aux cord to your prefrontal cortex, and suddenly the panic playlist turns into lo-fi beats. Switch from why to what now. Why did this happen? Congratulations, you just bought a timeshare in Spiral City. What's my next action? Boom. You've switched to problem-solving mode, lighting up your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex like a productivity rave. Translation. Stop interrogating the past. Start planning the next micro step, even if it's as small as, okay, I'll stand up and stretch. Sensory grounding. Hold an ice cube. Splash cold water on your face. Bite into a lemon if you're feeling dramatic. This jolts your vagus nerve, kicking your nervous system into parasympathetic mode, aka rest and digest, not fight and freak out. It's like telling your body, hey, put the panic down, we're fine. And yes, you can hold an ice cube and your dignity at the same time. Probably. Self-compassion as code rewrite. Hot take. You can't hate yourself into calm. Self-criticism doesn't motivate you. It marinates your brain in cortisol, the stress hormone, and throws gasoline on your anxiety loop. It's like yelling at a fire to put itself out. So try this instead. Talk to yourself, like a friend who panics on planes. Thanks, brain. I know you're trying to keep me safe, but I've got this. This isn't toxic positivity. You're not chanting affirmations like a Disney princess. This is neuroscience. Self-compassion activates the caregiving circuits in your brain. Hello, oxytocin, which dial down fear responses like noise-canceling headphones for anxiety. It's basically your nervous system going, oh, okay, we're safe. Cool. Let's stop acting like we just saw a bear in Target. When to worry about worry. Quick reality check. Everyone overthinks sometimes, but if your mental playlist sounds like this all day, every day, that's not a personality quirk. That's chronic rumination. Signs, it's time to call in backup. You can't sleep because your brain's running a TED Talk called The 97 Ways You Might Fail Tomorrow. You can't focus on work, Netflix, or even a bag of hot Cheetos. The thought loop isn't just annoying. It's making you anxious, sad, or both. Here's why this matters. Chronic overthinking rewires your stress response. It pumps out cortisol like an unpaid intern on an energy drink binge, which can mess with memory, immune function, even gut health. Translation, it's not just in your head, it's in your body too. The fix, therapy, mindfulness, CBT. Real tools, not TikTok hacks that say, just stop thinking, lol. Because overthinking isn't laziness, it's an exhausted brain trying to keep you alive in 2025 with a survival manual from the Stone Age. You don't need a new personality, you need new wiring. Overthinking isn't a personality quirk, it's anxiety hitting replay. But you can hit pause, with science, not shame. If this felt like the mental reset your brain needed, smash that like button for the algorithm gods, Subscribe for more psychology deep dives and drop a comment. What's your most ridiculous overthinking loop? Ideas that stick, figures that sketch. Ready for your next mental update? Tap here and keep playing smart.